Today on the bench we have the Kestrel V2 ETU with Bluetooth connectivity. All the information the manufacturer provides is on the back of the box. It supports from a 1S LiPo to a 4S LiPo battery. All the sensors for operating are optical, which I like, there is no chance for a wimpy little switch to break. The downside of this is, if the gears sling any grease or lubricants on the sensors, it will cause some issues. In the box, there is an instruction manual, the ETU itself, which I already installed in a gun for this review, multiple sets of shims and screws for installing the ETU, a 30 amp fuse and a spare DINS connector in case your battery has a Tamiya connector. You can solder this DINS connector to it. The last envelope has heat shrink and a magazine button base. Also included in the box, we have spare stickers for the ETU and the selector plate. I will show you now how to install this ETU and what to watch out for. Being a V2 version, this model can only be installed in a V2 gearbox, like the ones you can find in an AR-15 or M4 type replica. Take your gearbox out of the gun and remove all the other components. I recommend shimming the gears before installing this ETU, because shimming with it installed can be difficult and even cause damage to the ETU. Let's focus on the bottom right part of the gearbox. This needs to be completely flat in order to accommodate the ETU. If you are unsure, you can gently try to place it in the gearbox and check for any interference. Same story to the top part of the gearbox, make sure the ETU can sit nicely in there. After we confirm the gearbox has enough space, we can proceed to place the ETU in and secure it with a screw. Since my gearbox is already tapped for this screw, I'll just use that one. Route the wires in a tidy manner, making sure the trigger does not interfere with them, and that there is enough space for the motor pinion here. You can install the rest of the parts in the gearbox now, and after setting the trigger in place, the top board can also be installed. I will say the wiring length for this rear wired version that I have here is plenty long for any kind of buffer tube stock combination you might have. As mentioned, this ETU comes already wired to DINS or T connector, which is the standard nowadays. Let's go over the app now. As shown before in the Flare Tracer review, you need to choose the device you want to connect to, in our case the Kestrel V2. The first page is a dashboard presenting stats about the gun, like total BBs shot since installing the ETU, rate of fire, trigger response time, ETU temperature, current used on semi and full auto, battery voltage and firmware version. Switching to the settings page, we can see and change the name of this particular ETU, choose what fire mode we are in on the selector switch, and check functionality of the selector itself. Under trigger, we can set the sensitivity of the sensor, if we want the shortest trigger pull or a longer one. The gear menu allows for switching between regular gears or dual sector gears. Precocking mode sets a timed delay for the current cutoff compared to standard. This causes the piston to stop further back in a more ready to fire position, giving you faster cycle times on semi. Rate of fire control is exactly that. You can adjust from 100% to 40% of your maximum rate of fire. Magazine mode allows to set a cap, after which the ETU will stop firing until you change the magazine. Battery offers you information about the installed battery, as well as the option to have a low battery warning and enable sleep mode to save battery. Next page is the sensor page. After enabling sensor test mode, you will be able to calibrate and check functionality of the selector lever, trigger, and the rest of them. A big advantage of this ETU is the compatibility with brushless motors out of the box. No settings need to be enabled or configured. Currently, the cheapest price I could find in Europe is 83 euros on Taiwan Gun. This is the most affordable programmable ETU that you don't need to buy a separate programming card or device for. The value is there, the features are there, so there is no reason why you should not buy one of these in case you're looking for a new ETU. If you enjoyed this review, leave this video a like and consider subscribing for more Airsoft product reviews and gameplay. See you in the next video.